Okay. Running a little behind schedule. Sorry about that. But we are live now. And let's see if we get this thing to lock onto me. All right. Yeah, so we're running late. So give me a minute. I need to get some other things taken care of real quick, and then we'll talk about what's on the bench. And yeah, we'll go from there. So give me a minute.
You're just not looking at me. You're just not looking at me. Was there anything to information about? Just what's that?
Don't tell OSHA.
Want me to hold it while you're doing it?
You hear that? It's a puppy. All right.
How long I can take that?
Well, I figure you just, so for Mother's Day, I got my mom a puppy. Thank you to the Ramsey family. And we just picked it up. That's why we were late. So I think she should take some time and bond with her new puppy while we're live.
I think I will as soon as I get this put away. I thought maybe she'd take a nap after riding.
No, I think between the traffic noise and coming up here, it's a lot for a new puppy. All right.
Oh, no, little one. She wanted to go outside. They said she limps when she wants to go out.
Did she go?
Yeah,
Where?
underneath where she's sitting.
Oh. All right.
Soon as I get this in the red sauce. Okay. Gotcha. You're not going to take it. You can be persistent, aren't you?
All right. Yeah, so there's a lot going on the bench today. Your glasses looking at everything.
Okie dokie. I'm coming. Just a second. Give me a second. Yes. Persistent little girl. Oh, yes, you are.
Boom. We got some light. Now I can see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that camera around a little bit. I'm going to get rid of its tracking. Oh, that was a bad idea. All right, never mind. Okay, is everyone motion sick yet? Alright. Yeah, so I think you mostly got the bench. You don't have to worry about me so much. See if we can get the third camera to come up. And maybe something to elevate it on. I'm blocked in all over the place here.
Yes, you're a good baby. I think there's nothing there. Oh, you goodness. Yes, you are. You just got it. Oh, we got to trim him up.
All right, so angle 2 from up above, and I got this one going across the bench there. I think that's going to be the camera setup for today. So I just finished this Holy Bible. Everything, we kept it all original. When it came in, it was falling out of the case, and the first signature was loose, and so we got this all set for the gentleman. I'm going to touch up a little bit of the leather around the edges of the case. What I'm doing right now is I have this nice big thick family Bible, and we had originally had a video a few weeks back, and we started featuring the restoration of this Bible, but looking at about a week ago now, let's bring that up while I'm talking. About a week ago, I lost 2 hard drives at the same time. They both went down, ate themselves. And the one was the primary video backup. So whenever I create a video, so I'm not taking space on my main machine, I dump it to an external hard drive, and that hard drive ate itself. I have some video that I have to go through and see what I can salvage, but anything I had already started working on, editing, it's just, I lost a bunch of it. So, yay! Let's see if I can get this leveled out. There. I know a lot of camera motion today. I'm very sorry. So maybe we can go turn that back on. All right. I'm not going to worry about checking messages while we're live. I'm just going to be working today. Last week I kind of had a little meltdown on my live session, and so I removed that one. If you saw it, I'm sorry. If you didn't see it, good. Because damn. All right. So back to this family Bible. So it is almost ready to be cased back in. So what we missed, I cleaned up, stripped the spine, we cleaned it. I went through and I did an initial first lining with Hanji and wheat starch. And then I opened up the book, went through it. We did some paper repair. Marcia helped out with that. The first and last signature were both, they needed major paper repair. They needed rehinge. So we took care of that and we reattached those. And then we went through and we cleaned up the original headbands. In fact, here we can take it out of here for a minute. So yeah, we cleaned up the original headbands. You can see how nice and big and thick they are. And we reattached those, and then we put another lining on, 80-pound paper lining. And now what I'm working on is putting an Oxford Hollow on it. So I've already glued out the spine, glued up the spine, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the cloths over and complete a hollow tube. When I go to actually glue this up, I will turn the overhead camera on so you can see what I'm doing. Right now, I'm just making sure that the hollow is glued to the right spot. Okay. Looks like we got some of the linen hinge fixed. So if you are working these large Bibles, they can sometimes be unwieldy, and trying to get them to keep their curve, their round in the spine, can be problematic trying to get it in and out of the press. So if you're not able to, can I say manhandle? Is that an acceptable term? You may have to resort to using some sort of clamp. Something along these lines where you can get a good bite. Obviously you want to be using boards. Yeah, so you get it into a good round. Get a nice clamp. Now, if you can manhandle it in there, that's fine too. See if this is long enough. All right, I'm going to have to use 2 of these. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making a layer that, why am I losing my words? I don't want the paste to stick, the hollow tube together. There's a term for this layer and I'm drawing a blank. I hate that. Don't get old, it's no fun. Alright, there's one. I'm going to have to cut a second one because these aren't long enough. Alright, this way. I hate this material and scissors. Okay. So what happens when you start late? You're completely not prepared for anything. A pencil on my desk. Okay, so the Oxford Hall has been glued out. I have my release layers in here, which when everything's dry, I have to glue down there just a little bit. They'll release. All right, so this is one of the boards. For the Bible. Looks to be the backboard. And you can see it's a split board. The tape, this will have to be repaired in time. What I'm going to be doing right now is I've already cleaned the leather, took off all the debris. There's some red rot, which we'll be addressing eventually. But what I'm going to do is I want to be able to put the new leather in up to one of these gold tool lines. I realize I'm not showing accurately on the camera. So I need to lift this leather, and in some spots it looks like it's coming away. Other spots maybe not so much. So I have some tools. I have my peachy lifters, and these are really nice, but I think these are too heavy for what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to be using this spatula, and these are all tools that I think if you're doing any type of restoration work, a good set, don't buy cheap ones, buy some nice ones that are going to work for you to do the lifting. So I'm not actually going to clamp this down, but I'm just going to use the finishing press as another set of hands. And I'm going to go in these areas that have already started to lift. I'm going to start there. Now this is not something you want to rush. Definitely want to take your time because the chances of blowing through the leather are pretty good. This part of the Bible has a bevel on it. So if you go too far too fast, and you blow through that bevel because you didn't follow the contour of the board, you're going to blow through your leather. Now, I hate to jinx myself, but this leather is lifting nicely. I am about halfway to where I want to be. I think for my sake, I'm going to bring this down. Okay, I'm now at a depth to this gold tooling line. If you have your leather come up to a line, that transition, if there is one, isn't going to be anywhere near as bad as if it was someplace that was a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to do one more pass, and I'm going to take it a little bit past that line. All right, since the made end papers came apart on this side, I'm going to have to lift this, get this cloth material out, and put in a new cloth material. So again, I just try and find a spot that it's easily going to start. I'm just going to work my way down that board. And this isn't something that you want to rush. Just take your time. The adhesive on this side is a little bit more aggressive than the leather was. Starting to get some pieces of the board coming up there. I'm going to switch over to something with a little bit sharper edge. Maybe not. Alright, so we're going to lose the GoPro here in a minute. We're down to like 8%. So what I'm going to do, switch cameras. I'm going to have to change out that battery here in a minute. So what I did with that trouble spot is I went deeper on the side of it and just kind of went from underneath and up because it really does not want to move. The glue here is pretty strong. I'm going to find a new battery for that GoPro. It's going to die any second. Okay. Alright. These are the joys of changing the battery on a GoPro. So you have to dismantle everything. sometimes when it boots back up, it will be in a completely different mode, like it'll want to be in gallery mode. Oh, nice. Came back up in video mode. Okay. Back to lifting. So this Bible is a late 19th century family Bible, 1890s, I'd have to check, 1880s. So I want to lift this enough that I can get the old material out without going too far into that paste down. I'm just going to work it a little bit. You can see the transition there. Hand is cramping up. So right here, I can feel, see I just tore through a little bit. That's not what I wanted. Especially on camera. There's a little area there where the nail for the hardware, the closure, came through. I'll need to clean that up a bit. There. So we now have the leather in the front lifted to receive the new hinge material and the new leather. And we've got the back lifted. Now we'll see if we can get that that tape off of there. But before we do that, with the front board. So the hardware is still attached to the front board, and this is the hardware that would go on the back. So these were already falling off. They were bent. I straightened them a little bit. I need to do a little bit more work to them because this one here has, I don't know if you can see it, but and then of course I'll clean them up a bit. All right, so I need to do the same treatment to the leather in the front. Need to find a good spot. See if it'll start. Oh, looks like it's starting really nice again. Knock on wood. Nope. Touching that up. Looks like the leather split a little bit. So I can feel as I'm lifting, I'm getting a little bit of a board with the leather. And that's just the way it's coming away. Okay. The leather is now separated. Alright, so you'll notice this is still intact. I would just as soon, well, it's really threadbare there. I may take this off and replace, I'll just do the same treatment on each side. It's not ideal, but this needs some repair work anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. So we'll get to those. Get this to peel since I have a handle. I'll be careful not to apply so much pressure as that I tear the paste down. Well, then I've got to start. That was graceful. All right. So I've got that lifted. All right, so we're going to do some surgical moves here. The reason I'm doing this is when I put the new material on the spine, it's going to need to go underneath this and get wrapped around. And this will come back over it and hide as much of the new material as possible. Okay, well, the red rot allowed this to come off, but we can use that. You can see under here, this leather had a nice reddish hue to it. Bibles of this age are known for their red rot. Most of them were not taken care of properly. So you don't think I'm making arbitrary cuts. These cuts are lined up with where I want the leather to fall in the with this gold tooling line. Okay. This stuff is so brittle. I'm not sure I'm going to reapply it. Yeah. This lifting is not going ideal. The board's actually falling apart. All right, so in a perfect world, I would have made these cuts and they just would have hung out there like flaps. When I put the new leather underneath here and wrap it around, I would just close the flaps, but they came apart. So I'll reuse the bits that I can and I'll go from there. And I think what I may do with this, so I don't have to put, well, I'm going to have to put new material, but, oh, see, that's where the cords were. That's why I was having problems. That's where the cords went through. Huh. Camera got stuck over there for a while. All right, I need to clear some image. boards are ready to receive more new materials. Clean it up best they can. All right. I've taken this about as far as I'm going to take this today. Gotta prep some more stuff. So to make up for the video that I lost on this family Bible when we originally started it, I've got a couple more coming up that I'll film from start to scratch, and we'll get that out to you guys so you can see the entire process. I figured. Well, I often wonder if you guys are watching this. I've got one guy who comments on a regular basis. That's awesome. I'd love to hear from the rest of you. Any of you, anybody. Just say hi. Give me the middle finger emoji. I don't care. Is there such a thing?
You hear a flip.
Uh-huh. So you see, I'm still working on Animal Farm. Got a bunch over here, more over there. My mother's working on it. Yeah, I know, it's exciting watching you eat a banana. You know what you tuned in for, right? Banana eating and beard grooming. All right. I know, more beard grooming. Sue me. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to take a look at this Bible that was brought to me by a client. So I want to go in and these first couple of pages, I just want to put a little bit of glue and tip those together. Just to reinforce that. Actually, I want a smaller brush too. Or maybe this is the one I'm using. So the reason I'm doing this is this particular client had a small budget, and so we ended up sawing in kerfs. But I want to make sure this is too thick of a brush. I need a thinner brush. Where are my thin brushes? All my little brushes have disappeared. Joys of having other people in your bindery. Never find anything. Alright, looks like I'm using that brush. Seriously, where? This one's a little smaller than I want to deal with, but I think it's better than using too big of a brush because I just want to put the faintest amount in there. Just enough to tip them together. Ever so slightly. With that brush actually kind of spot on perfect. Fine. So it's just that one page that appeared that it would need it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back under a little bit of weight. My glue jar is getting pretty ratty. Dang I'm picking on people in my bindery, and it was me that hid my other brush. I'm going to go clean this out. Like I said, it's getting pretty ratty, and I'll be back for something else. Did you miss me? Apparently the camera did. Hello? You follow me? I don't do well with clutter on my desk, so I reset every once in a while, put a bunch of stuff away. I know a lot of people think that might be time wasting, but trust me, with my mindset, it's best for me to do the reset. It's an ADHD thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes, Marcia, I am using your scissors. All right. Do I want to check messages? I know I said I wasn't going to. See if anybody said anything. Nothing on the YouTube. And ooh. Yo boys, gonna watch later. And alright, so he's gonna watch it later. Okay, cool. So no messages on the BookForge or personal Facebook pages. All right, well, you boys gonna catch this later. That's awesome. He's actually a relative of one of my apprentices. Awesome to have him around. Oh, do I want to deal with these right now? These are ugly. So, these are made end papers. And I need to figure out if I'm just going to trim off the old material and leave where it's attached intact. So I'm definitely going to have to do some paper repair in here. So yeah, this is a decision I'm going to have to make, because trying to lift this moire pattern and split the paper to get this out from in between, I don't think it's going to be very much fun. And then to get this off of there, yeah, I'm going to think about this a little bit later on. I think today I've done enough on that Bible. I'm going to continue my Animal Farm run. So my current press setup can handle 7 books at a time. I can put 6 in that press, and then I can put 1 in the nipping press. My mother's using the other press to keep her end of Animal Farm going, which is putting the French grooves into vellum. We just feel a little bit out of it today. Not feeling it at all. All right. So I'll need those. I'll need these. And I will need paste. All right, so I'm going to warm the paste up. So I'm going to put some water in this pot. This will take a few minutes, so just hang out. I know, more eating. So I like heating the paste up because I think it flows a little bit better. So I use the text blocks when I shape the vellum because they're obviously the right size. Sometimes the material sticks, sometimes it doesn't. They get a little extra paste on the turn-ins or whatever, so top is top. I want to case the book in upside down. So before I start working with each one, I see this one here stuck. Not a big deal. Typically comes loose. Sometimes it pulls a little bit of the material out from the inside of the book. Again, not a big deal. It's hidden. Top is top. So what I'm doing, right. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trimming the mole because when it's put on, sometimes it hangs over a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes when the material sticks, it frays it. So I just go through and I just trim the little edges off. It's not necessary. It's also not uncommon to have a little bit of angle on your inner hinge material. And I double check to make sure that top is top. Gives me something to do while my paste is heating up. Alexa, what's my notification?
One new notification from Amazon. U.S. National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning for Erie. It'll be in effect from May 18th, 12 a.m. EDT until May 18th, 8 a.m.
When I'm heating up my paste, I kind of treat it like a double boiler. I just stick the entire jar into a pot of water and bring it up to temperature. You have fun?
Are you going to be using your pigs?
Yes, that's why I'm heating it up right now.
Okay. So I won't use it.
Well, once it's heated, I put these in the press and you can take it for a while.
Oh, okay. I locked it down too tight.
See this? This is my mom. She's working over here, putting grooves in the vellum and doing the turn-ins for the vellum. Give him a middle finger, Mom.
No.
People are fun. They don't want to give you the middle finger anymore. I don't understand. All right, so we got some important dates coming up. I'm going to be doing a program on 17th century Cambridge panel bindings, and it's going to be at the Mill Creek Mall Erie Library branch, and I'm doing this in conjunction with the library's Hist Erie #HistErie program. So the date for that is going to be June 9th. It's a Friday. The presentation is going to be 10 to 12. If you want to come down to the library, you have to register for it. There's a link on my Facebook page. I'll put a link on Patreon too. If you are not able to make it in person, you just won't have the tactile experience. I'm going to be doing kind of the Rachel Ray cooking show where I said, okay, so at this point we threw out the spine, we line it, and we let it dry overnight, and it looks like this when it's done. And I'll have 8 different steps, so I'll be able to pass those around. People will be able to see what I'm talking about, touch it, feel it, so they'll get a really good sense of how the book was made. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. So I'm going to do a live stream, and I'm going to make it here on Patreon. It will be, initially, I'm going to do it as a pre-release. You guys can watch it. You'll have it a month before everyone else does, and then I'll release it to the general public. All right, the next thing that's coming up is I'm going to be participating in City Gallery's Children's Art Camp, and we're going to make a very simple photo book using a very simplified version of the drum binding. So we're going to be doing that on the 26th, June 26th, July 10th, and July 17th. That's something that you'd have to register your children for. And then we're going to be participating in the Erie Art Museum's Gallery Night. I have mixed feelings about this. I won't go into it here. That's for a different forum. But I am excited to be open that day. I'm looking forward to having people here. We're going to have some food out. We're going to have some wine available. other beverages too if you don't want to have wine. But yeah, come on up to the bindery, check it out, say hello, see what I'm doing, touch things. It'll be a really good time. If you have a book that you know, family heirloom that you need restored, bring it along. We'll talk about it. Right. So those are the weekly announcements. Let's see how that pace is doing. It's looking to me like that paste may have some lumps in it. Yeah. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes on the stove. And then we're going to be winding down. So the family Bible, I did lose some video. I may still film the rest of the process so you can see how the boards go back on that Bible, and how the leather gets rebacked, and then the old spine plate being put back on. And then the next one, I think what I'll do is I'll film it all the way through, and instead of releasing it episodically, I'll release it as one long video, kind of more as a tutorial type thing. I'm also going to be putting together a tutorial on how I'm making the Cambridge bindings. So in addition to having the live broadcast of the presentation, which I give a little bit of book history, some bookish terms, that kind of thing, I'll have a step-by-step tutorial on from going from a stack of paper to a finished Cambridge binding. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that kind of stuff. I very much like for that Glue to be dry. Alright, I'm sure you've seen this process before. You take your glue, or your paste, I'm sorry, and I'm going to have to rinse that thing because it's dripping down the fastener side. You just push it through a sieve. I've seen people use Japanese screens to do this, and nylons. I've seen people push it through untreated silk screen material. Whatever it takes to make it smooth and creamy and get rid of all the lumps. You want to usually do this 2 or 3 times. See, we're talking about Rachel Ray in a cooking show, and look what you got. Me making batter. And I'll be back un momento.
I could do that.
Hmm?
I can do that.
I know, but I need the jar back.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of dead in water into that jar. Yeah.
I may be catching what you got. Boy, I just got a disease bill.
You gonna catch me? You gonna track me?
That's it. Just this one.
Just that one. And now I'm a paste. Woohoo! All right. Top is top. Things are centered. Things are squared. Yeah, nice and creamy that is. Something I discovered about this paper is that when you put it in the press, and even though you're using a moisture barrier, it will seep through the paper. And in my case, my moisture barrier is an acetate, and it will give you a very shiny spot wherever that stuff came through, whether it's like half the book or whatever. And so I have to watch how long it's in the press. I put it in there long enough to get good pressure on the case to make sure the glue sticks. But I have to take it out, and I do the stand up and let it dry method, where I end up with these really shiny, they're really unsightly, especially up against this matte paper, and the client doesn't like it. So I have to be very, very careful how long this is actually in the press. So you didn't get to see where I went. All right. So everybody, this is the newest member of the family. Her name is Rain. At least that's what it is today. Brand new. She's what, 7 weeks old, she said?
7, yeah.
Yeah, born March 28th. So this was my Mother's Day present.
She's very cuddly.
Yeah.
Hear her?
Hmm?
Did you hear her when she woke up?
She was
Mm-hmm.
she was just playing around on the couch.
You were just playing around on the couch. Oh, yes.
So we're coming up on 3 o'clock.
You were tired.
I'm gonna
Them nails.
switch views real quick,
Yes, we are.
and I'll do one more Animal Farm book because you cannot get away from a live session with us without having Animal Farm because that's what we're doing. And the top of my head. You should probably just pack up and leave early. Take the puppy home, give it a bath, spend some time, bond with it.
Take her home and get her something to drink and eat. She's probably thirsty.
Yeah, and I don't know what their feeding schedule is, but I figure that's all stuff you can.
Her tummy upset.
I've got to get some pictures of her where she goes.
Okay.
I know you can hear it. That's my press turning, even though you can't see it. All right, guys. I think I'm about done with the live stream. I'm going to continue with Animal Farm. I'll eventually revisit that family Bible. I'll definitely get some video of getting those boards on, and then the rebacking of the book. So, all right, this is Edward Cran. It's Honey Badger Binder at BookForge. Signing off. Y'all have a good one.
I think she's going to get sick. She's just trying to